We're asking him various questions. Los mantras se cantan de forma monótona. Jay Sri Radheshyam. Namaste Gurudevaya Sarvasiddhi Pradayine Sarvamagala Rupaya Sarvananda Vidyayine. One of the most popular questions that I get person to person. Many times sadhakas from different parivars, different spiritual families and different sampradayas, they ask me what is my honest opinion regarding to Iskcon and Gaudiya Math. And as my both of life as an aspirant to the service of the lotus feet of Sri Nitay Jay Radheshyam, the truth is the most important part of my daily sadhana. If there is no truth, there is no sadhana for me. Taking this in consideration and giving my word of what I am speaking about, the ones who knows me closely, personally, they know exactly who I am, how I speak and what I say and not say on a personal conversation. So I will speak out loud on this topic. After approx 25 years of walking the path of mysticism, where of course Gaudiya Vaishnavism have been the central part of my investigation and sadhana. But not only that, because also I have been going through the studies of different spiritual traditions, counting that I had several years ago Buddhist studies with the Lama, Tibetan Lama, and meditation, yoga, kundalini, etc., all topics and that I have been walking through. And of course, as a Western boy, young boy, a tender age, I get to know two important books that are still my holiest texts. I am speaking about the Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad Bhagavatam. For those arrangements of Swayam Bhagavan in the library of my house, that was not that big, existed one Bhagavad Gita and two books of Srimad Bhagavatam with the inscriptions, the drawing, the paintings, photographies, pictures made by Iskcon in the 70s. So, of course, I learned all the roots and bases from those books. And later on, when I start growing and I get a teenager age, I start associating with that line of the philosophy of Mahaprabhu. I took initiation in one group that was not exactly Iskcon, but was one so-called guru that came from the Goswami, so from the sannyasis from Iskcon. So it's a long story, who ended quite bad. Nowadays he's running because, based on what I read some not long ago, has over 30 cases of sexual abuse on his own disciples, female disciples. So he's running here and there, and some people still believing on that person. Anyways, it's not my problem. I left everything, all those things, over 15 years ago. So now we get to the central point. Through all this period of time, and since I am traveling quite a lot, I left my home country, over 20 years ago, to establish myself in Northern Europe, Finland, a totally opposite country to my homeland. But it was a great experience, and since Finland is a very small country, it's only 5.5 million inhabitants on that country, mainly atheist people. They are more into science than spiritualism and religion, but there is a small group of people who truly are seekers and looking for something else, something deeper, some bigger meaning of life. And on that country, the only that you can find basically is one Iskcon temple. There is one group of followers of Ma, one woman who give embraces to people, and they say that they feel like God embraced themselves. Well, this kind of things. Some small group of Sai Baba followers, stuff like this. So Iskcon also is very, very small there. Still, they do their practice, kirtans, prasad, Sunday feast, etc. So what you can do? You cannot have no association at all. Even I am not an Iskcon follower. I used to go quite often on Sundays and in the weekdays, sometimes one or 2 days a week, just to be there, to do my japa, to read books, to speak with the Vaishnavas, etc. So now the point comes to how to understand this reality. I honestly, anybody who start moving the things a little bit and taking out the dust from the mirror can see what have been really happening in Iskcon from the 70s, and so many legal cases and stuff that are quite dirty actually. But this kind of things, in my opinion, happens in every single institution that is too big. And we must say, on a Western scale, Iskcon is very big. Not as much as it looks like, but it's quite big. So when you are accepting people from all different backgrounds and with all different kind of behaves, of course some problems will come. When some rascals will see that there is some money, that there is some loyalty, that there is always food and shelter, a house where you can live, some will climb to the top just to have the power, the money, and the good food, and to be worshipped by the devotees. This is normal, and it happens everywhere, absolutely everywhere. I have seen in big groups, I have been seeing this in church, I have seen this in different kind of spiritual traditions, in different cult sects. I have been studying deeply the Western European esotericism from the early 1900, 1900, and I have seen the same story, because this is human nature, you know. To be extremely honest, we cannot blame Swami Bhaktivedanta for the mistake of the disciples. His books, the books of Swami Bhaktivedanta are revealing, I must say. And one thing that I learned from him deeply in my heart, and believe me that I am speaking truth. I don't speak, and I will use one rude word, but to make it super clear, I don't speak bullshit. If I don't want to say something, I simply avoid. I don't say it. But if I say something, I am speaking honestly and transparent. This is my both as a Vaishnav, is to speak truth only. And if I have no truth, I don't speak. Simple. I don't try to know everything. I want to know everything, because everything are the lotus feet of my Radharani. But I cannot know everything, so some things I don't know, I will not create an answer or mental creation for an answer. You know, I will not speculate on stuff that are so sacred and important as a tattva. So the books of Swami Bhaktivedanta, that I read them all, There are some additions to some things that maybe I haven't, they didn't came to me on time to read them, but basically all his biography library, I read them all. And even if I am not accepting, based on the Shastra, I am not accepting some of his theories, like the fall of the Jiva from Vaikuntha. This is absolutely no, based on Shastras. I can take one verse here, one verse there, one verse here, one verse there, and to try to adapt, twist, and manipulate information in order to make it Shastric, and a Shastric idea. But the ones who are following me knows very clear that I don't like any kind of twisting and interpretation of absolutely anything. Just my Sadguru can give me interpretation of shlokas and verses, what this mean, what doesn't mean, but it will not be something that I will be speaking out loud. This is personal information, something for my own sadhana and understanding. Shastras, in my opinion, must be read transparently and not look for any interpretation or twisted words or puzzle or tricks. So, based on Shastra, you will not find this fell of the Jiva from Vaikuntha. From Vaikuntha, no even a leaf fell. A great book I recommend to you to read from Sri Satyanarayan Das Babaji Maharaj. That one more time, he's not my guru, not my Shiksha guru, not my Diksha guru. But he's brilliant, and this book reveals the information clearly based on the Shastra. Take a look on that book. You can go to jiva.org and then go to stores, books, PDF or physical book, and you can buy $5, $7, and you download 500 rupees. You download. You can read it. So there is all the pramana about this topic. So there are many things on Swami Bhaktivedanta that I don't believe and I don't support. Such things as women are stupid, or one day I hear this line many times, but I never dig it because it was creating pain in my heart to think that Swami Bhaktivedanta will say something like that. But he said that line of women who like to be raped, that he say. I have the video. I will not show here as a clip. Normally I quote the things as a clip to give the pramana. I will not do for respect to many good devotees and friends that I have personally that are followers of Swami Bhaktivedanta. But he said things like this, very strange, that I will never support. There are other things that he said very strange that I truly support. That, for example, that the men never went to the moon, things I believe as well, that the earth is not what the science is saying, but it's different, and his words are based on the Srimad Bhagavatam, and I do believe that. The earth is a mandala, it's not a round sphere rotating. Nowadays I have seen some forum and websites from that group that are trying to clean up this information because it's a little bit noisy for the normal population, so it can create conflict in order to accept their philosophy. You cannot clean up, you cannot change the word of the guru. If the guru said you must accept, if it's your guru, you cannot change the word of guru. This is called Guru Bani. Guru Bani is sacred. This is the way that they understand. And one important thing for the ones who are starting on this path, you must know that the saints, sadhus, and the ones who are absorbed into the Shastras and the knowledge, the Siddhanta, they start having some own ideas. Based on the Shastra, they start having some own ideas because they are immersed in an ocean that from outside is not possible to see. So many times they start getting some ideas that maybe are not Shastric. But if he is your guru, you must accept your guru totally or not partially. You cannot accept just the lotus feet of your guru but not his ideas, not his actions. That's why you accept a guru only when you accept his actions, his lotus feet protection, his instructions, in the way that he explained the things, right? So many things that Swami Bhaktivedanta wrote are absolutely brilliant. Many of you have been participating on my lectures, and you know that I say always that this man was a genius. It does not mean that I will follow him, because there are some gaps in his philosophy that I realize that I need more than that. Okay, I cannot live with these blind areas on the philosophy. It's not possible for me. It's 100% or not. This is my nature. I give 100%. I do my sadhana 100%. I do my japa 100%. I do my kirtan 100%. I give my heart to Krishna 100% or not. Things half doesn't work. So that's why I live. But there are many instructions, many things that are wonderful, and I truly appreciate. And I will name some of the things that I appreciate about Swami Bhaktivedanta and his movement. One of the most important thing, on my opinion, and that I respect about Iskcon and Gaudiya Math, is how important they speak about the principles, the 4 principles of human life. No intoxication, no drugs, no hazard games, no meat consumption. This is wonderful, because this is truly the beginning of the Vaishnava life. If somebody is not following these four areas, then cannot be called a Vaishnava, just like that. Why? Because Vaishnava, in order to be a Vaishnava, you must to walk the path of Shuddha Sattva. Sattva is not enough. Sattva is not enough. Shuddha Sattva, you must walk a life of Shuddha Sattva in order to get the consciousness of a Vaishnava. You are not the Vaishnava. The Vaishnava consciousness came to you when you are in Shuddha Sattva. So you must walk all the way from Tamas, Rajas to Sattva Guna. And from Sattva Guna, when you are in that position, you start doing your japa, your mantra, your study of shastras, your satsanga, and then you jump to Shuddha Sattva. And in Shuddha Sattva, you start walking as a Vaishnava. But this Shuddha Sattva must be continuous sadhana to keep it on you, inside you. Otherwise, you will lose it. That's why it's so easy to lose the vows for many devotees. That today they are Vaishnava, tomorrow are anything else. They go to Vrindavan, their pictures with tilak, and then when they go back to Delhi or to Mumbai, they go to back eating carrot, onion, garlic, maybe eggs, or having a satsanga, going to clubs or drinking or smoking. Here in Vrindavan, I have seen people smoking, smoking in Vrindavan, really. Just yesterday, I was doing parikram in Govardhan, and one guy doing parikram, and drinking a Coca-Cola. I have nothing against Coca-Cola, but drinking the Coca-Cola, and when the small bottle was empty, he closed the bottle and throw it in front of Girirajji. Throw it, putting trash there. Honestly, some Arjuna was coming inside my heart. I was feeling like I will take this bottle and I will put the bottle right in his face and explain what he's doing wrong. But after I say, okay, maybe this is a test for me to develop tolerance in this Kali Yuga, because I cannot change the world, I can only change me. So every time that I go to Govardhan or to the Holy Dam, I take good care of all my things. If I have some trash, I take care of this. I will not leave trash everywhere for the next Vaishnavas to see the trash that I am giving behind me, right? So a lesson came again and again back to me in this way. So anyways, so Swami Bhaktivedanta wrote some things that are incredible values, are gems. Karma and Reincarnation, this mini book, Karma Reincarnation, that came out of his own speeches, his conference, his katha, is wonderful. When I read this around 14 years old, it changed my life. It was exactly the time, 14 years old in my life, being a kid, a young kid, I didn't knew anything about life. But that book is when I close this book and I say, done. I went to my mother and my father and I say, from today, I become a vegetarian. I become a vegetarian, and was because of this book. Reincarnation, another wonderful work under his name, also came out of his kathas. Life change, absolutely. Until now, all those words on the books are in my heart and have been shaping the life that I have nowadays. That after so much going up and down, I'm established in my life, in my devotional life. So this was thanks to him. Honestly, this was thanks to him and for thousands of people. I know a few hundreds of people who have been changed out of the work that he did. And worldwide are thousands of people, if not a few millions, who have been changed out of his words, out of his work. Because, let's be honest, and I will tell you one thing that maybe many of you does not know. For sure, many of you who open this video just by seeing that my honest opinion on Iskcon, you came with a grenade and baseball bat just to beat me up and to troll me, and you are surprised that I am showing my appreciation to him. No institution. I am speaking about him. So his work was phenomenal, but also you must know, as you are appreciating the work of a Vaishnav who gave his life to propagate the message of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu and our Nityananda Prabhu, then you must appreciate all the ones who pavement the path for Swami Bhaktivedanta. And one of them was Bharati Premananda Baba. Premananda Bharati Baba was a Gaudiya Vaishnava from Bengal who landed to Europe and America 40 years before Swami Bhaktivedanta. Baba Bharati created the first Krishna temple in the United States. Until today, they are disciples of him, and he wrote the first books in English regarding to Krishna, Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and the Krishna Tattva, explaining that Krishna is the supreme truth as Gaudiya Vaishnavism explained. He was the representative of my Sadguru Sri Radharaman Sharandastev, who in the early 1900s he decided to come to go. Actually, I am in Bharat, to go to Europe, and he had the idea of walking to cross Europe by feet, walking the whole Europe, chanting the Harinam. Sri Radharaman Sharandastev is a Siddha Mahapurush. It means he is an incarnation of the divinity. And I am not speaking this kind of avatar like Sai Baba or Osho or this kind of avatars that are I don't know, I can think about a little bit, yeah? When you study the life of love, the biography in English of Sri Radharaman Sharandastev, you will be surprised when you read that and you realize that Sri Radharaman Sharandastev is Nityananda Ram Shakti incarnated. Just as Radha Krishna Shakti is incarnate in Gauranga Mahaprabhu, Sri Radharaman Sharandastev is the power of Nityananda incarnate in one body, and is the Leela of Gaura Nitai incarnate in one body. When you read the story, when you read his biography and what he did out of the Harinam, when he chanted the Harinam, his Harinam was Nitay Jay Gour Radheshyam Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Basically, worship to Nitay Gour, achieve Radheshyam. What is the way, how you will connect with all this? What is the process? Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. This is what does it mean. Very simple. Nitay Goura Radheshyam Japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. With this mantra or this song, because this is a Harinam, it's not a mantra, he was able to bring life to the dead bodies. Several occasions, even in front of Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, that no doubt is a Mahapurush, he did it. He bring the life back to dead people. Radha Ramancharan did the dogs to behave like Vaishnavas. Hundreds of dogs eating prasad like a Vaishnav, doing pranams. He made the trees to dance and give diksha to even animals. He was a saint in a stratospherical level, in a galactic level, just as we read the Leela of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu. Sri Radha Ramancharan Das Dev did exactly the same Leelas just 100 years ago. He did exactly the same, to melt stone out of prema, to make animals dance and chant as Gauranga Mahaprabhu, all this. So he himself has the wish to cross the world Europe until to get to America, chanting the Harinam. If he will do, this world will be absolutely different, but it was not the time, and the disciples of him said, please don't do it now. It's too premature, it's too early to do this revolution. Just stay here, bring the philosophy, bring back the true philosophy of Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu that 100 years ago, 150 years ago, was kind of messy and cloudy. That's why many other writers and Vaishnav were creating some kind of neo-revolution inside the Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Just to say an example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati, who wrote and spoke about all the mess that was happening between caste, around Apasampradayas, etc. Many people, not only them, spoke about this and tried to do some changes. So Sri Radha Ramancharan Das Dev also was very aware on this and bring some things unique. And why are so unique? Because Radha Raman is Nitay himself, at the same time the darshan directly of Nitay Gour was in front of him. He received even mantra from Nityananda Ram, but this is another topic because it's ultra esoteric, so deep and wonderful that I have to cover in a completely different video. So Bharati Baba say to Radha Raman, please, if you accept my service as you sevaka, as you servant, please let me go. Because they were all afraid that Europe will not accept and maybe they will attend against Radha Ramancharan. So Bharati Baba say, I will sacrifice myself, I will go. Bhade Baba, Radha Ramancharan Das Deva say, okay, you do this. And he did it and was successful. In America he had at his time more than 500 disciples. And this is wonderful. More than 500 disciples chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Japa, doing Japa Hare Krishna, chanting Harinam, the names of the Lord, out loud, doing Kirtan, reading the Granthas, reading the Shastras, doing all this. Wonderful. America finally did a complot. The secret societies there did a complot, just as they did with Swami Bhaktivedanta, just as they did with Osho, just as they did with all the ones who were making big change, spiritual change or intellectual changes in the society. So also they did a complot against Bharati Baba, and Bharati Baba, before too late, he left the United States and get back to India. And he continued his sadhana, and he is considered as a big saint nowadays, as a big saint for all the Gaudiyas, mainly the Gaudiyas who know his story actually, that are in the line of Sri Radha Ramancharan Das Deva. That is, by the way, one of the biggest and most strong Nityananda branches, Nityananda Parivar branches in the world, Bharat. So Bharati Baba was 40 or more years before Swami Bhaktivedanta. He pavimented the philosophy of Krishna consciousness in Europe. He wrote in newspapers, he has blogs in different newspapers, he did a wonderful work in just a few years. So all these things, I honestly believe that we must to know and we must to appreciate the effort of all the acharyas. No sectarism, say only Swami Bhaktivedanta, only this, only that, only my guru only is valid. No, we must to appreciate, because after all, we are all under the holy and golden umbrella of Sri Sri Nitay Gauranga and Panchatattva and the Goswamis of Vrindavan. If we disrespect any of the family members, our bhakti is absolutely doomed. Harinam, Aparat, Ritz, that if you disrespect a Vaishnav, your bhajan, your spiritual growth is destroyed absolutely, and you will go to hell directly. And aparad against Vaishnav is a hellish path of 84,000 different tortures that you will must go through. Many will say, no, this cannot be true. 84,000 tortures in the patalas, in the hell? It's not possible. Maybe this is to scare us a little bit here and there. Okay, if you accept the things on that way, you must accept that maybe Krishna is not God, but it's a way to make us understand something, maybe to be a better person. No, Krishna is God. It appears in Srimad Bhagavatam. In the Puranas appear all this about hell, about the punishment for aparadas. All this appears. All this is crystal clear, and we accept as it is, and not with interpretation of maybe yes, maybe no, maybe yes, maybe new age idea. Archangels, angels, and Pleiadians, and all this nonsense. We accept Granthas, the philosophy. We accept the Shastras as they are, as it is, and no interpretation of no one regarding to this. So Swami Bhaktivedanta did a great job on all these things. Some gaps are there, important gaps for the spiritual development, but also I do believe that he had no time to prepare properly his disciples for the future generation, to give the information, the right information for future generation. The first step that he did was simply to build up this philosophy in the Western countries on a language that is understandable for everyone. But these preaching methods also are available or are happening on a cost, and the cost is the shop of very important and esoteric areas of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. That's why many of us have been moving away. Many of us moving away. Sannyasis, disciples, brahmanas, second initiate brahmanas have been moving away because they have been discovering that there is something more. Something more. And without that, our sadhana, our bhajan will not be successful. Will not be successful. As simple as that. For example, if you want to serve Radha and Krishna, you must Radha and Krishna are not manifesting a physical body. They never had a physical body. When they came to earth, when they descend on this mandala Kriti, Bhumandal, they descend and they appear with their spiritual bodies, eternal spiritual bodies. Krishna grew up until 14 years old, and he stayed forever like that. This is his real looking, how he look. This is his spiritual body. So if you want to serve, then you cannot serve with the physical body. You must to serve them with the spiritual body. And this spiritual body must be developed and given by Sri Guru. If you don't have the chance in your Sangha, through your Guru, of getting your spiritual body, you cannot serve them. You are serving only externally. You are doing like the training. The doctors are doing training on some operations, some surgery. They train with dolls, right? So in somehow it's similar. If you don't have a spiritual body to do your seva directly to Sri Sri Radheshyam Sundarlal, then you are training with dolls. Still you are training, only doing training. You are not doing the real job yet. So this is something I discovered through the study of Shastra and also investigating and speaking with different sadhus, gurus from different lines. I realized this, and this is well known by all the Vaishnav in Bharat who belong to Gaudiya Vaishnavism. But it's ignored in somehow and even menospreciated, looking down. They look down on these topics from the followers of Swami Bhaktivedanta or Gaudiya Mat, and that is quite wrong. But I know that Sri Narayan Goswami Maharaj, he knew about this, and I heard that some of these sannyas disciples who nowadays some of them are gurus, they get this kind of initiation to get the spiritual body. So this is tattva, this is part of the philosophy, and you can find much information, shlokas speaking about this topic. So yes, he have a great thing. One of the most important thing, in my opinion, is the clear instruction on intoxication, alcohol, meat eating, consumption, and Asar games. This is wonderful. They did a great job. Some people, I know, some people who want to keep their addictions and their bad behaviors, their bad behave, they claim that these principles are things out of Iskcon, that Iskcon create these principles. Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati sect create this principle, but this is not true. If you read Srimad Bhagavatam, in Srimad Bhagavatam explain where Kali Yuga, Kali Maharaj, where he resides. In every of these 5 things, Kali Maharaj resides. So if you are getting any of these 5 things, the 4 principles, if you are not following any of the 4 principles and you are engaged in collecting money, then Kali Maharaj will enter in your heart. These are the principles. These are the principles. And humility and to be simple, to live a simple life is related to the 5th abode of Kali Maharaj inside Kali Yuga, and this abode is gold. But gold is not only the stone gold, right? Not only gold as gold. Gold means money, luxury, all these kind of things are Kali Maharaj kingdom. Meat eating is Kali Maharaj kingdom. Animal abuse and exploitation is Kali Maharaj kingdom. Alcohol, cigarettes, marijuana are Kali Maharaj kingdom. Illicit sex is Kali Maharaj kingdom. Asar games is Kali Maharaj kingdom. Why the Mahabharata started? Because of Asar games. Kali Maharaj kingdom. The death of millions of people, the destruction of clans, families, all by Asar games, Kali Maharaj kingdom. So a real Vaishnava avoid the 5 principles, not only 4, 5 principles must to be avoided. And to be clear, Swami Bhaktivedanta spoke clearly on these topics. And I do believe, and I do follow that. My line for the ones who are watching from the other side of the road, from Iskcon Gaudiya Math, my line is no Iskcon Gaudiya Math. Of course, I am following the line of Gaudiya Vaishnavism as spoke by the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. And that is called the Babaji line, to say. Externally, they call Babaji line. In reality, Babaji is a title for a renunciant, for a sannyas inside the Gaudiya philosophy. In Gaudiya, we not call it sannyas, because sannyas is a tradition from the Mayavada monistic philosophy. So we are not monistic. That's why we are not calling our sadhus sannyasis, but we call it Babajis. Babaji is the same than sannyas, but for Gaudiya Vaishnavism. Okay, so I follow the Babajis, and I don't know really. I have been all around Babajis. I don't know Babajis smoking. I don't know Babajis having 2 or 3 women. I don't know Babajis eating meat. I don't know Babajis collecting money. I know Babajis who live in a room 2 per 2. 2 meters per 2 meters, where they have their altar, the sleeping, the books, and even a small kitchen. And the kitchen is just a fire that coming with gas. I have seen the most renunciant men in this planet out of those Babajis. They are wonderful. Humility, wonderful, great. No pranams, no dandavats. They don't look any of that. Of course, cheaters are everywhere. Inside the community of Babajis, inside the Iskcon, inside the Gaudiya Math, inside every religion, church, Christians, etc. There are always cheaters who are taking advantage of the faith of the people. But that kind of rascals we must to avoid. Simple. I have been meeting many. I avoid them. I block them. I don't want to know about them. I don't hear about them. I don't speak about them. I don't care about them. But what I care about the honest ones, and those ones I give my obeisance, I give my pranams, my dandavats, I can give donation, I serve the lotus feet of all Vaishnavas, because Vaishnav is a super word. Remember, Shuddha Sattva, not even Sattva Guna, Shuddha Sattva, you must to be upper level, upper consciousness, upper, how they say in India, upper. So every single math, to say every single philosophy and guru have their own things, because we're in Kali Yuga. We cannot expect that one institution, one group, or another group will be absolutely perfect. This is not possible because we are in Kali Yuga. We are limited in intelligence, in honesty. We have limitation in all the fields inside this Kali Yuga. Basically, the only left that we have in Kali Yuga is Harinam. Harinam is the only remedy in Kali Yuga. We have nothing else. One very good friend and one of my teachers, to say, Sri Vrashgopal Das Agarwal, a man quite old, very old, who have seen everything here, Vrindavan. He have been living for so many decades here. He said to me, what is left nowadays? Granta, Japa, and Kirtan. This is all. Of course, every sadhaka in newcomer want a super guru, super famous, that everybody respect, and that he's always happy, etc. But the reality is not like that. The reality is much less than that. It's much more simple. So Dadu say the only left for us in this time, this period of time, are the Granthas, Shastras, the books, the holy books, Japa and Harinam, Kirtan. Japa, Mahamantra Hare Krishna, and Kirtan, Harinam. This is all what we have. We don't need to be anywhere, to go nowhere. We sit in some part in our home where we have the picture of our Ishtadev, Krishna, Radha Krishna, Gurudev, Nitay Gour, or the way of Gauranga you are following, Gaura Gadadhar, etc. And do your bhajan. That's all. There is nothing more to do, honestly. There is nothing more to do. Because if in the end of this life you want to enter the Nitya Lila, the Lila of Vrindavan, the Lila of Radha and Krishna eternally, if you want to live, go out of this plane, this mundane plane, you honestly have to do bhajan. It's the only way. And with much respect, I say to you all, by selling books, by giving food to the poor or to the need, to giving money to people, to helping the need, you will not achieve Krishna, because all of that is to do good, is to do good karma, this and that. This is karma yoga. And what Krishna said himself from his holy mouth, say in the Bhagavad Gita, Sarva dharmam parityaya. Live, quit all dharmas, good and bad, quit. Surrender to me. Only surrender to me. This is what you have to do, to surrender to him. The war, people, population, problems, here and that, this is not your fault, because if I will be Ishvara, maybe it will not happen. And if it's happened, maybe it has a reason that I have no understanding. So what is my business out of that? If people is suffering for their own karma. Sadly to say, but this is true. If you have good, it's because you do good. If you have bad, it's because you do bad. That's all. So can I manage the karma? I cannot manage the karma of other people. With much effort, I can manage my own karma. So what I have to do, I have to just quit all this, to leave all this, to renounce to all this. And how you do that? Sarva dharman paritya mamekam saranam braj. Even Krishna say Braja. How intelligent is Krishna? To me. But also he say Braja Mandal, Nitya Lila Vrindavan. You have to leave all these external things and just surrender to him. He is the Harinam. Nama and Nami are not different. Nami, Nama, not different. The name and the named are not different. So if you want to live in Radha Krishna consciousness, then do it. Japa Hare Krishna, chant with all your heart the Harinam, Hariharaya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Nama, Krishna 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 He, Krishna Krishna Paniman, Krishna Krishna Rakshaman, as Gauranga did. So this is your shelter. Japa and Harinam, that's all. All the differences that are there, here and there, many times some people can be pissed off with me because I say that Mahamantra was not chanted by Gauranga. This is by Shastra. Doesn't matter if you believe or not, this is by Shastra. Gauranga didn't. There is no verse that prove that. There are some verses a little bit confused here and there, like in the Sarvaoma Sataka, Sri Chaitanya Sataka, there verse 64. That's a little bit confused, but when you study the full story, you understand what is the meaning of this verse. But doesn't matter, because every math, every spiritual path has their own Siddhanta in somehow way to understand the things. So when I speak about this, and take it as it is, when I speak about these topics, I am not attacking anyone. Indeed, I am speaking out of the philosophy and the Siddhanta that I do follow. I am speaking out of the Siddhanta that I do follow. I have big respect for everyone, honestly, respect for everyone, and the ones that I cannot respect because of their behavior, I just ignore. But otherwise, I just respect everyone. And I am saying, I respect Iskcon, I respect Gaudiya Math, I respect Bhaktisiddhanta, I respect Srila Prabhupada, I respect everyone. It does not mean that I will have to silence myself on the tattva. I cannot speak the tattva because everybody has the right to speak the tattva that you are following, believing, studying. If you are speaking about this, if you are a preacher, or if you are doing some research, you have all the right to speak about that. That's why you follow. And everyone has the right to hear to me or to not hear to me. It's that simple. If you don't like the message of somebody, just don't watch it, don't read it. Why you must start feeling attack and do conspiration against people? Just avoid it. Show that you have some brains and go out. If you don't like this food, don't eat it. It's that simple. Yes or not? Another great thing that Swami Bhaktivedanta did was to spread the message of Sri Gauranga worldwide and to empower his followers worldwide to do it. If they are doing it correct or not, that is another thing to analyze, and I am not speaking about that, but to do it. Everywhere in the world, they know Mahamantra Hare Krishna, they know Sri Gauranga, more or less they know something about Sri Gauranga due to their work. And this is something that I always ask. Yes, where are the followers of Nityananda? They have been just hiding themselves inside Bengal. And where is the preaching? Where is the Harinam in every city and town? This Swami Bhaktivedanta did it. Pranams to him. My respect from the heart to him because of that. So I don't want to follow the path of having the knowledge and hiding it by myself. No, that's why I do what I do. I speak in Russian, I speak in English, I speak in Spanish, all the information and research that I am doing. In order that other souls that maybe has the same conclusion that something is not right, something is missing, they will find the information out of me or out of another devotee who is trying to do their work with the best intention. It's that simple. Closing this, I want to say that because of that I do videos researching on Mahamantra and speaking something and showing that some things are wrong, does not mean that I have bad feelings against anybody. Indeed, the principles of my Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy, my Sadguru Sri Radharaman Charandas Deva, is to practice no hate to no one, love to everybody, no hate and love to everyone. These are the principles. He was respecting and loving everyone, no difference of caste, nationality, color, race, money. For him was not any different. For him, everybody was a divine soul. And this is what I want to achieve as well on my vision. It does not mean that you must hide the philosophy. You cannot hide the philosophy because this is the form of your spiritual path. I cannot avoid to speak about something because other people will feel will feel bad about that, about knowing truth. Yeah. Let's put an example. If my father will not be my father, I would like to know that is not my father. But some mothers hide this truth to the child to not make them feel bad. Or even when they're adult, they will never tell, you are not son of of this man. This man is not your father. Your father is over there. They avoid in order to not make him feel or he or she or make her feel bad. But I think this is cheating, and I hate the cheaters. So you must speak the truth. The truth is truth and must to go, cannot be hidden. It does not mean that I have hate or I don't like people, other people. Maybe I don't associate, but it's my personal option. The truth is truth. But the respect, am I pronounced to the Vaishnav? Absolutely yes. I know. Indeed, in Iskcon and from Gaudiya Math, I have met the devotees who do the most effort in their bhajan, in their practice. There I met them. I have been in India, in Radhakund, in Navadvip, in many places. I have been meeting devotees from different sanghas, different parivars, different sampradayas to say. And some of them are very lazy, still smoking cigarettes, smoking marijuana, going to parties, and then they put dhoti and go to Siguru. I don't associate with people like this, but I have seen. But in Iskcon, I saw people very strict, very clear. They want to achieve perfection. They want to serve his guru, their gurus. This is wonderful, and this is something I think must to be observed and appreciate. So I show my appreciation to you if you are on that path. If you are still not in that path, I encourage you to do it, because in order to taste the honey, you must to taste the honey. You cannot taste the honey just by looking from outside. That maybe yes, maybe no. No, you must to taste the honey and you will enjoy. This is sadhana, this is practice. Do bhajan. Bhajan Nitay Gour. Worship Nitay Gour. Jay Sri Radheshyam. By the grace of Gauranga. Chant Jujapa Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Non-stop. This must be our life. This is bhajan. We will achieve perfection. Our Gauranga Mahaprabhu said in his lips said, Chaitanya Bhagavata 2.23, 70, 80. These 10 verses explain. Gauranga Mahaprabhu say, Do japa Hare Krishna Hare Ram, you will achieve perfection. All of you will achieve perfection. This is his word. And honestly, I believe the word of Sri Gauranga does not need interpretation, because are crystal clear. Or Purvacharyas, the writers and the founders of the philosophy as philosophy, they were extremely intelligent, Nitya Siddhas, they knew exactly what they write. So we don't need to interpret. This is Gauranga said, this is what we do. If we do, we achieve perfection. Vrindavan Das Thakur write in his Chaitanya Bhagavata, the instruction of Narayan, Swayam Bhagavan, in this case Gauranga or Krishna, the one who follows, obey the instruction of Bhagavan, get shelter. You can do anything, but if you are not following what the Purvacharyas, what Bhagavan have said, then you have no shelter. For much that you think that you can have shelter, you will not have shelter in your practice and not in your final hour, your final second on this earth. Trust me, because this is Tattva. So let's follow the instructions as the instructions are. Let's show our respect to all the living entities, even the rascals, the demons, and everyone. All there are jivas. By the will of God, they are in their position and they are doing what they do. So let's show our respect to every single entity. All the living entities, are jivas. And as a jiva, they are similar to me, or almost same than who I am on a spiritual platform. And they are all manifestation of Bhagavan. So let's show respect to everybody. It does not mean that I will not point out the truth. The truth is truth, and the truth is God. That's why I will never shake to speak truth. All the glories to the Vaishnava who have given their life to the word of God. And all the glories to all the souls who honor the word of God. From all religions, all philosophy, all the planets, all the yugas, past, present, future, and all the multiverses. Jai Mahavira Radharaman, Jai Nitay Jay Gour, Jai Sri Radheshyam. I wish you a great day. Sri Radheshyam.
Bhajo Nitay Gour, Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna Hare Ram. Bhajo Nitay Gour, Radheshyam, Japo Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. Jai Mahavira, Radha Raman, Jai Nitay Jay Gour, Jai Jay Sri Radheshyam.